Welcome to the Cowboy Wisdom Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Wilson. Tonight, 7 ways why education innocently taught me to live from the past. As I awakened to this, I realized everything I learned in school was from yesterday. So as I went and began this voyage out of that, because it was always in the books we were taught from the past. Why did you do this yesterday? Look at what you did before. And as we go through life, everybody brings up what we did from the past. And so then we never really move forward. And so we stayed the same without us realizing it. And we were always taught to think and live from the past, and we never ever got to the now. That's something I discovered in myself, because in history, we always went back, and we learned about war, the pillage, the victors, but we never ever got to understand what really began the wars and how they was never able to communicate. And we still can't communicate between countries today. Look at Ukraine. We still go backwards, and everything we learned in school was from the past. And when you talk to somebody, somebody says, do you remember when you did this? Do you remember when you did that? We never say, what are you doing now? Not what you're doing tomorrow. What are you going to experience now? See, we've never been in the here and now. We've either been in the past or we talk about the future. But we never talk about now. Now is a natural, optimistic, wanderer's paradises for us to expand through life. But as I look back and understand what happened to me in school, everything went backwards. Education innocently teaches from the past and also unknowingly teaches negativity, because it was always what you did wrong. And it also ingrains perfection programming, because whenever a teacher had an idea or the answer they wanted, we had to absolutely give them that answer, and there was never no variance. We really, for me, coming through the schools I did, there was never any creativity. Or there was zero innovative wizardry. We could never experience and look for the creativity of now, or the innovative ingenuity within us now. And that's something I really started opening up to about, 2 weeks ago, is this country lives still from the past. We're trying to think we modernized with computers, but how has computers actually stolen the ingenuity of now? Because we rely on computers rather than this in here. And I've really noticed this with AI is, do it with AI. How is AI going to steal the individual innovation? And I'm just starting to look at AI for marketing. But the thing about AI is spell check. Spell check stole my spelling abilities. And it really did. And so I'm really apprehensive about doing anything that takes from my individual wise ingenuity. But everything I learned in school was from the past. History took us all the way back to who knows when. And all we talked about was the war, what caused it, and who won the war. But we never really got into what really caused the war and how all the suffering and all that, because it still goes on today. And that is something, history repeats itself because we understand history. History is a subconscious mind frozen in time representations that keep us now. And as you look around the world today, we can put a man on the moon. We can write books with AI. We can do this, but we still have the same way we treat people going on. So we've never advanced in people. We've advanced in technology, but we've never advanced or risen out of the war, pillage, and plunder mindset of our ancestors. That third world warmongering mindset goes on today. The southern border, Epstein Island, all that stuff is still sex trafficking and slave trafficking. We're supposed to be so modernized, and we're still stuck in the muck and yuck of yesterday. And the more I open up to what the school system was, because we never really took time to understand, everything came from somebody else. Education is secondhand information. It is good. It's a foundation, but it's all secondhand information. And it's always what somebody else wants you to know. And see, in school, we had to learn to answer questions according to what the teacher's viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs was. And we still live in our ancestors' opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs. We've never modernized our own inner mechanisms of instantaneous spiritual mystique. Because life, the present moment, is free-flowing energy. It's just streaming energy. But we are so caught up and happen to think and know our way through life with the knowledge from the books that hook us into yesterday. Today's the day we rise out of the snookery and the hookery of books. Books written with punctuation are mind control. I write all my stuff unpunctuated. And I started in 2011. What I really understand is every time you read a punctuated book, you're trying to imitate the programming of the author. Because that book encompasses the viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, the knowledge, and the limitations of the author. See, I know something I was really open to. I was never admitted I had the limitations, the barriers, the blockages, the boundaries of yesterday within me. And boundaries are the biggest fallacy in the world. Boundaries are fears. And I read somewhere, well, you set a boundary, you can tell somebody what for. Unless you're willing to cross that boundary and go over there and question whatever's going on the other side, you're stuck in the side of the boundary BS that stresses you out and doubt. Boundaries are fears and stress, because anything beyond that, you fall flat. And if there's something about understanding when you set a boundary, you set new fears, is you learn how to question. You're open to questioning your way through it. Why am I apprehensive? Where's the wisdom? Where is this blockage and barrier and limitation within me? Because see, there's no limitations in the outer world. All the limitations and blockages and limitations are in here. You see it out there, but it's actually something within yourself. And usually it's here, because this is where the subconscious mind is in the body. So as you open up to this and realize we've been living every day from the past, we try to live today. We think today is new, but yet it's a boundary from yesterday. How do you wake up in the morning complaining about yesterday and afraid to move forward today? So as I open up to this, I really rock and roll things to move forward. As I understand, and I admitted to myself, everything you learn in school is a foundation. It's like the road you drive on. It's the oil, it's a paved road that gets you so far. But your dreams, insight, and all the uncertainty of the present moment is the gravel road going up, turning into a trail going up the mountain. Life is fresh. Life is a liberating invitation. But however, how do we try to stay stuck in the thinking and knowing and the viewpoints and opinions, beliefs, and everything from yesterday and try to move forward today? Outside of technology and medicine, what is different now than it was 10 years ago? to me, it's the same. Education and business has this country so locked and blocked in thinking they have to know. And the thing about life is people are the assets. The blue collar people will lead the world out because the white collar is too stuck in the books and thinking they're better than everybody. The egotistical arrogance of college education and know-it-all ignorance of college education and business has this world locked and blocked in yesterday because they have a mindset where they think, well, I'm educated, they're not, I have to know everything. The difference between the blue collar is they're sovereignly educated, and the college educated is book educated. And that's where we're stuck, is in the book education. If you're going to rise out of your current situation, get your hands dirty. See, when I was going through the 80s and 90s, oh, he works for these hands for a living. That's, the thing that I really opened up to, and it's really been brought out by Mike Rowe on Dirty Jobs, is, those guys that get their hands dirty, the welders, electricians, plumbers, they have a better quality of life than most educated people. Education just gives you the knowledge to be broke. Plus you get up into management and stuff, and then they take these college educated kids fresh out of college, put them in management, and they think they know everything and they screw everything up. I'll be honest, we have a saying in the blue collar world: if you want to screw it up, you put college education in charge. And you look at the world, college education is running this world. But college education ain't the responsibility, it's the arrogance of college education. People think they got that piece of paper makes them special. Well, think about it this way. If the electricity and you get into a natural disaster, who's going to bring you out of it? Who's going to turn your power back on? Is that book and all your management people, or is it going to be the people that come out there that stand out in the wind and the rain, putting them power lines back together or fixing one of the sewer lines? See, we got this world kind of messed up, and we try to live like, to get your hands dirty is a bad thing. Well, you get your hands dirty, you gain a little wisdom, insight, and clarity about your life. You stay in that polished books and in the chair, you never have a dare, because management has the power to enslave the workers, and that goes on today. Something I'm really starting to understand: the blue collar's got to rise and show the white collar how the world moves forward, because I now understand that the people get their hands dirty, make the world go. It's like the hurricane down in Texas. I saw something on the internet today. The people were out there helping them, and people give a couple of the linemen water with fentanyl in it. Well, that's just really neat. I don't know. That's what I read. But see, the world can get as fast-paced as it wants with all this AI and all this technology. But when it comes to out there, and you have power outages and sewer breakages, you can't push a button and fix that. That takes wisdom and insight and clarity. This is something I'm going to say, and I've said it before. The wisdom is in the blue collar. The knowledge to screw it, the knowledge is in the white collar and management. Just because you can go on and see, there's only the only people that never make a mistake is people that's got an eraser and a backup or the delete button in the virtual world. You can't get hurt in the virtual world. But when you go out there and physically do things, every once in a while somebody gets hurt. But that's just the way it is. But everybody thinks we got a safety program. And I'm going to be honest with you. I worked around them safety programs since 1991, and most of them pretty much suck. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's a fallacy. They pat you on the back and this, some be honest with, within, whenever we was orientated in, we'd have a bet to see when we see the first safety rule broken. Was it 20, 10, 15, 20, or 25 feet as you hit the building? We never went more than 50 feet in the building, and they made their orientation was already a fallacy. See, the thing about it is we have to get some integrity in this world to move it forward. But see, we've been taught as long as somebody with education is telling us, it has to be right. Well, look, education has been showing us in the business world. I'm going to be honest. I've been speaking a lot about this, and I'm going to do a podcast on it. The world is stuck in a third world enslaving mindset, and people think they got that boss's position or that document in their hand. They own people. The only thing they own is their egotistical arrogance. Until this world puts its egotistical arrogance, know-it-all ignorance in check to realize communication. Because, you know, somebody working in that ditch, putting pipe in it or doing something, and you're sitting there in your office. Well, each one of you've got a nugget of wisdom for the other one. And see, wisdom does not come through everything. Wisdom is it's like a filtered foresight that comes in out of nowhere, and you'll be sitting there and somebody will say something, you'll read something occur. That's when wisdom awakens. Knowledge keeps your mind shut down because you think you know it all, and you can only see what you think you know. But wisdom, insight, clarity, and inspiration, innovation, intuition, that's a flowing energy that clears away yesterday's debris to set you free today. And right now, this world, as far as education and business can take us, because there's no innovation. And, you know, I know there's a lot of things going on in this world, but there is commerce going on that isn't in the forefront of life. And I'm going to say this, and in 1996, free trade, right around there, free trade come in, the NAFTA, the GATT, and all that. And when they told us about NAFTA, they said that would take care of all the challenges from the southern border. And every company run to Mexico and build a factory just over the border. And then about 2 years later, they brought it back because they put out a poor product. And see, here's the thing. The lie they told us will never die, but the truth of the lie is being told to us right now on the border. But here's the thing, people. You're the assets. You're the liberators, and your ingenuity, innovation, inspiration, wisdom, and talents will rise the world out. And the sooner we let go of thinking other people have the knowledge and everything to move us forward, they don't. Because most of them are too stuck in the greed and the seediness of the world. You know, the greed of the world is what's controlling us. Something I really awakened to. Wall Street controls our politicians because of all the insider trading, which is okay because it's there for everybody. But people, the individuals, the blue collar, you know, what the other people think they're smarter than will move the world forward. This is about you people rising to your talents and communicating with each other. Because, you know, you can say what you want. There's some, you know, in every place where there's people gathered, there's commerce going on. Sometimes it isn't what you think it is, but there's commerce. And the commerce to move the world forward is within the people. A book only knows what somebody else wrote in it. Every book is what somebody else wants you to think and know. That's why I unpunctuated my writings. You read them out loud, and my website's My Cowboy Wisdom. You read them out loud for 30 days and see if you don't have a more of a liberated feeling to move your life forward. See, everything we learned in school, as good as is a foundation, but it's all a control from the from the silent trolls of the world that want to think they own us. See, once I opened up to understand the world has an underlying enslaving mindset from the business and the powers to be, I set myself free to understand. If I want to liberate me from me, I listen for the wisdom, insight, and clarity of my daily life. And something I opened up to today, I only listen to hearken my hellraiser enterprising acumen, realizing keen enterprising nirvana occurs right here. When somebody else is telling me something, as nice as it is, it's something they want to control me by. And if you listen to a lot of everything going on in the world, and when somebody says they have a program for you, that's exactly what that is a program. They want to program you to follow them so they can keep your money flowing to them. When you unprogram the programming of yourself, you liberate you from you to enjoy today. So that's why I really awakened to understand the education system innocently taught me to follow the herd of people, so I stay inside the sheepocracy of society. We're taught to be followers, even though we think we're leaders. But you are the leader of your life when you listen to your enterprising acumen, donning enterprising riches to flow from you. You encompass the sleek, unique talent to move yourself forward. When you start opening up to this, ask this question: why has education innocently taught me to live from my past? Ask that question and let it go. And just see what happens over the next 1 hour to the rest of your life. And I really want people to understand everything in education is secondhand information of what somebody else wants you to know and do. But when you listen to hearken the enterprising acumen of it to expand yourself out of it, you'll rise to a new way of life. Now, I want to thank you. I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity. And what hypnoacuity is hypnotherapy, but it quiets the subconscious mind and quiets you down internally. Because once you can liberate you from you, you get to smile at the world through gratitude and appreciation for your talents. And I want to thank you and good night.